Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. So this video is the second part of the questionnaire design in epidemiological research. So before we start, let us recite Kitab Al-Fatihah. Okay, so this video will try to talk about the validity and reliability when we design a questionnaire. Okay, so before we go further, let us look at the definition. What is validity? Validity is the degree to which a measurement or test measures what it is intended to measure or test. For example, if we use a weighing scale, weighing machine, we use it to measure weight. So a weighing machine is a valid test, a valid measurement for weight, but it is not a valid measurement for height. So that's the simple definition. Okay, so the other one is reliability. So reliability is the consistency of a measurement, meaning repeatability or reproducibility. Okay, example, the weighing scale just now. So if you step on it, let's say it shows 50 kilogram, and then you step down and then you step up again, it should still shows 50 kilogram. So even if when you repeat the measurement, it still give you the same measurement, the consistency of a measurement. But it doesn't mean that in the morning when you step on it, it is 50 kilogram. It might change after your heavy lunch. So it doesn't mean that it is not reliable. So I hope you get the meaning there. Okay, so there are a few types of validity when especially when we talk about a questionnaire, in questionnaire design. So the first one is the content validity. Content validity is usually validated by experts. Meaning to say here, when you develop a questionnaire, the content of the questionnaire is measuring what you want to measure. For example, I want to develop a questionnaire on KAP on diabetes, for example. So the questionnaire must measure the knowledge, attitude, and practice regarding diabetes, and not regarding hypertension, for example. Okay, so that's why it need to be validated by experts, because the experts will know whether the content is measuring the subject matter or not. Okay. Then the second one is phase validity. So phase validity can be done by a small pilot study of 3 to 5 subjects. So what do we want to validate in this type of validity? We want to ensure that the questionnaire is understandable. Meaning when people read the questionnaire, they can understand it and they can answer it properly. Okay, so that is phase validity. Okay, so for a final year project, I think if you develop a new questionnaire on your own, these two types of validity should be adequate, for an undergraduate research project. At least you do some kind of validity check. Because there are actually other types of validity. For example, construct validity. We have comparing extreme group, convergence, and discriminant validity. And this one for questionnaire, you can get from factor analysis. Whereby factor analysis will tell you that you are measuring something that you are supposed to measure. Okay, but as I mentioned just now, for undergraduate projects, factor analysis might not be needed. But if it is for postgraduate, yes, I think it is needed. If you are doing a master or PhD, you should do factor analysis for your newly developed questionnaire. And we have other types also like criterion validity, whereby it is further divided into concurrent and predictive validity. But as I mentioned, yeah, this one should be for a higher level research. Okay, now we look at repeatability. Yeah, I mentioned just now, it means reproducibility or reliability. Yeah, we want to determine the consistency between observers or between techniques. Yeah, so that whatever differences that we detect is due to the true subject change. Yeah, not because of the default measurement tools. Okay, I mentioned here, consistency between observers. So you can measure it from agreement, to measure the consistency between observers. Yeah, or for questionnaire, usually we try to assess the internal consistency or Crombat alpha. Okay, so for Crombat alpha, um, from my humble opinion, it is not needed for an undergraduate project, because if you want to come up with Cromba Alpha, you need to carry out a pilot study. Yeah, and okay, let us look at conducting a pilot study. So, what is actually a pilot study? Pilot study is a smaller study. You carried out before you carried out a real study. Yeah, so it can be a single, or sometimes some people will have a series of pilot studies. So why do we do pilot study? As I mentioned just now, pilot study is a smaller study we do before a real study. Maybe we want to see the participation rate, or if it is especially for secondary data, you want to see whether the records are available, or what is the quality of the data. Even for primary data also. Okay, by the way, primary data is whereby the data is collected for the purpose of the research itself. But secondary data is the data is collected for other purpose, but you use it for your research. For example, you get the data from hospital records, for example. So it would be secondary data. So if you use secondary data, you must state it clearly in your methodology. So that when people read it, they know that you are not the one who do the data collection, but you only analyze the data collected or already collected for other purpose. And then another reason for pilot study is to assess the validity of the study instruments. For example, just now I mentioned about the understandability or comprehensibility from the face validity. So you need to do a pilot study for that. But I told you that for face validity, you only need about 3 to 5 subjects. To ensure that the questions are clear. People can understand when they read it. Or whether it can be completed correctly. Okay, and pilot study is also needed to check for the validity or repeatability of the instruments. So I mentioned just now, you might want to do factor analysis, for the questionnaire, or you want to come up with the Cromba Alpha, for the internal consistency or repeatability of the instruments, of your questionnaire. So for to get the factor analysis of Cromba Alpha, you might need the minimum of 30 subjects for your pilot study. Okay, it might not sound very bad, but strictly speaking, the subjects who you select for your pilot study shouldn't be in your actual study. Okay, so meaning the 30 subjects that you select that you have participated in your pilot study cannot be included as part of the data for your actual research. Yeah, so that's why, yeah, if you ask me, yeah, for undergraduate studies, since the sample size usually we don't expect too big anyway, yeah, so there is no need for me to do the actual pilot study, yeah, to come up with the result of factor analysis or Chromba alpha. Yeah, so for a final year project, yeah, I think it is adequate if you can check for the content validity and for the phase validity. That is if you develop your own questionnaire. Yeah, but of course you can also adopt a ready-made questionnaire. Yeah, adopt meaning you um, use 100% of the questionnaire, yeah, or you can adapt, yeah, because sometimes some of the questions is not relevant for your population, yeah, so you might want to find a ready-made questionnaire, but you um, change a few questions so that it is suitable for your population. Yeah, so if you use a ready-made questionnaire, you can report their Chromba alpha, yeah, or any other validity or reliability study that they did. Yeah, even though strictly speaking, yeah, if you do a research for postgraduate or a bigger research, yeah, even though you use a ready-made questionnaire, yeah, you should validate it again in your population. Yeah. So that's why, yeah, pilot study, yeah, is needed, yeah, to check for the validity and reliability of the questionnaire. Yeah, but if you ask me, it depends on the level of the study. Okay, pilot study might also be needed for some information when you want to calculate your sample size. Okay. Okay, now I go to the KAP study. Yeah. So as I mentioned just now, you can either adopt or adapt or develop a new questionnaire. Yeah. Sometimes people also try to assess the awareness or perception, but I think this is a very general term. Yeah. So for knowledge, yeah, for the questions of knowledge, yeah, it is the fact about the study matter. Yeah, so that's why the choice of question it can be true, false, or you might also want to add do not know or not sure. Yeah, just to make sure that the participants do not like just answer falsely answered any questions. Yeah. But for attitude, yeah, it is about how they feel about something. So, the choice of answers is usually strongly agree to strongly disagree. Yeah, so this one is for attitude. Yeah. But for practice, because you want to know how frequent they do something, so you can use this, yeah, all the time, always, frequent, seldom to never, yeah, or any other measures. But for practice, you want to know how frequent they do something. Yeah. This is yeah, I feel the best way, yeah, to measure the knowledge, attitude, and practice. Yeah, their choice of answers. Okay, what about the scoring? Of course, you give the highest mark for the positive statement. Yeah, whether it is true or strongly agree all the time. But the highest mark for the negative statement would be the opposite lah. Yeah, false, strongly disagree, or never. So for the negative statement, yeah, I advise that you enter all the answers first and then you decode using SPSS. Yeah, and then sometimes we want to find the association between knowledge, attitude, and practice. So you can compute the total score for the K, A, and P. Yeah, and then do the correlation. Yeah, Yeah, so you can compute the total score using the SPSS function and then use the correlation to get the association, yeah, between the KAP. Yeah, or you can also categorize, but if you categorize, you need to justify, yeah, why you use such categorization. So I think that's all for this video. So let us end with